Hi guys, so I'm in my new studio and I'm just about to start filming, and I wasn't going to bother telling you this. As you can see, I've got the board here ready to go, got the camera equipment and everything up. I wasn't actually going to tell you this, but I thought I would share it with you. For those of you with a keen eye, you will notice that my board is different. Can you notice we've got a new nice frame, it's thinner, and we have a bigger board. It's a lot taller than the other one used to be. It's the same width, but it's a lot taller so we can get more information on it. And you might be wondering, why have you got a new board and what happened to the old one? Well, the sad fact of the matter is, while we were moving studios, somebody stole my old blackboard. If you can believe that, I've lost sort of that great friend of mine, the blackboard, 2 years maybe? Yeah, just over 2 years of filming videos, all that information on my beautiful blackboard, and somebody has stolen her. So it's highly unlikely. But if you hear of anything, see my board, anything like that, please do let me know, because I would very much like to get it back. But that's not to insult this blackboard, because she's a beauty, and you know, we've got to keep evolving, I suppose. And we've got this lovely new board in the lovely new studio. So yeah, but I thought if you're watching the video I'm about to make, and you're wondering where the hell's the old board, it's been stolen. Hi, I'm Walker&Williams, and I'm back. It's been too long, but finally, we've moved into the new studio. It's not quite ready yet, so I can't show you around. But once it is, probably by the next video, I'll give you guys a quick tour of the new studio so you can have a look and see what you think for yourself. But we're gonna have a little area for interviews if people wanna come and see me and have a chat. And we've got the new setup here, new lighting system, which I haven't got quite right. As you can probably tell, there's a bit of a brightness here behind me. So I've already asked Billy to come down and just have a rejig with the lighting so that we can get that absolutely bang on. But for now, this will do. I'm not willing to wait any longer. I really wanted to get this video out before Christmas so that you guys had something to watch and I had a bit of an update, know what's going on with Hedera and everything in the ecosystem. There has been absolutely loads going on. I've always been saying this, but now it's really starting to ramp up. Genuinely, you could make an hour-long YouTube video every day about the new announcements that are happening with Hedera, which is really exciting to see. I'm going to be looking later at why I think I found proof, concrete proof, that Hbar is a fantastic investment right now. I really believe I found that undeniable concrete proof, and I'll be covering that later, so make sure you stay tuned. A lot to get through. Don't want this to be a huge, too long a video. There is so much more to cover. So what I'm going to be doing is making more Hedera update videos more frequently moving forward. Okay, so let's jump straight into it. So COP28, 30th of November to the 12th of December. So COP28 has just happened. It's the UN climate crisis meeting, and it happened in Dubai. Hedera made big waves. Perfect setting for Hedera. So if you're ever going to have a type of conference, a type of meeting, and you want it to be right in the middle of Hedera's ballpark, it's going to be climate change, because Hedera, of course, is so efficient. So they were making big waves out there. There was a lot of news on X, or Twitter as it was formerly known. A lot of stuff on the internet coming out every day with people talking about Hedera. Hedera was actually trending with COP28. The sort of big takeaways are that Hedera has partnered with DU, spelled D-U. And DU is a subsidiary of the Emirates Integrated Telecommunications Company, or EITC for short. DU is one of two telecom companies in the UAE, and they supply mobile, landline, internet, and streaming. They turned over 3.44 billion USD, American dollars, last year. So they're a sizable company, no joke. And they've partnered, and they've publicly announced this, they've partnered with Hedera in order to deliver some of these services more efficiently. Providing a platform for DIFC, and this doesn't get much more serious as a use case. DIFC is is Dubai's international English-speaking common law judicial system. It was established for the international community to have greater confidence to invest, commerce, loans, that sort of thing. So Dubai recognized that there's such an international country, that they needed to have an international English court-speaking legal system for people to go to if they have an issue with a supplier or with delivering something. It's common law. So really to give international business people and individuals confidence in the Dubai legal system.
So the DIFC courts were set up, and they have just announced that they're partnering with Hedera, and they're going to be storing all of their information like on the cloud, but using Hedera technology, and also the platform that you go onto, and you can see all the different court cases and all that sort of stuff. The whole integral system is going to be on Hedera. So potentially not a massive number of transactions per second, if that's your thing, TPS, but it is a really, really serious, big use case. And that's going to be really interesting to see how they develop that out. And this is probably the biggest one of all. The UN themselves have announced the Guardian Service Platform. The Guardian Service Platform will be focusing on digital measurement reporting and verification for carbon markets. So what does that mean? It means that a lot of big companies have to offset their carbon, as we all know. It's sometimes impossible to do that to neutral. So you can make your vans more efficient, from instead of diesel, they can be electric vans. You can reuse recycled packaging, but some companies aren't able to get their carbon output, their carbon footprint down to complete zero, but they want to. So how do they finish off that last bit of carbon that they can't get rid of? They buy carbon credits. So they pay somebody to plant a tree that otherwise wouldn't have been planted, and they can say, yes, we are creating 10 grams of X, but this tree that wouldn't have existed without our funding is absorbing more, or the same amount or more of carbon out of the atmosphere. So therefore, it's fair to say that we are carbon neutral. This has been a very hot topic because there's been so much fraud in this industry. People in developing countries and other countries, but developing countries mainly, who are leading this initiative with planting the trees, have been selling the trees twice, never planting the trees in the first place. And all the companies, or a lot of the companies, want is a ticket to say that they have done the right thing. And the checks aren't being done. They're too busy, haven't got the time, or perhaps they haven't even got the ambition to kind of check that information. So they pay a bit of money, and now they've got a nice green tick that says they are carbon neutral. So a lot of fraud going on in the place, which is obviously bad it's generally run by organised crime, it's bad for the environment, and it's disingenuous to the people who are actually trying to make a difference. So how do we stop this from happening? Well, of course, we can use an immutable distributed ledger technology that everybody can see, and we can track these things using NFT technology, track and make sure that the same trees are the ones that you've paid for, that they haven't been sold to anybody else, that they exist, they haven't been cut down, etc. And the UN is partnering with Hedera to create the Guardian Service Platform, which will be like a marketplace for people to buy and sell carbon credits, safe in the knowledge that they're actually making a difference, a real difference. And I think that's going to be absolutely fantastic. It will hopefully put the illegal market out of business, or at least go some way to disrupting it and giving people the opportunity to buy with confidence. So really, really super important, really, really nice thing. I had to make a note of this because Hedera quite often change their slogan to appeal to whichever community they're speaking to, which is really important. If they go to Davos, for example, which they're doing again this year, and we're going to be touching on that in a little minute, then it's going to be about business. It's all going to be about business. And of course, if they go to COP28, then it's got to be about the environment. And some genius at Hedera came up with balance sheet of the planet. What a fantastic slogan, and I saw it everywhere. So really, really impressed by that. Balance sheet of the planet. That was really, really cool to see. Moving on to the next big use case that's been announced on Hedera is Bank Social. So banksocial.io is their website if you want to check them out. And of course, I'll put a link in the description below. But Bank Social have been around for a while, but they're now really starting to make some noise. And I've had a lot of requests from people over on X, or Twitter as some people still refer to it, asking me to cover Bank Social. These guys probably deserve an entire video of their own. However, I had the absolute pleasure of speaking to John Wingate, who is the CEO and founder of Bank Social. And I mentioned to him that I was going to Davos this year because I put a vote on Twitter, should I go to Davos again this year? And about 86% of you voted yes. So I will be going to Davos in January. And I mentioned that to John, and he said, right, well, I'll come too, and maybe we can have a sit down and a chat. So I'm going to be interviewing John, fingers crossed, at Davos, and that's going to be a really, really interesting chat. He is not like your normal CEO founder, particularly around banking. So that's an interview, trust me, you're going to want to see, because he is a super interesting guy. So I had a chat with him and just kind of talked about what he is, what Bank Social's doing, what his goals are, what he's trying to achieve. And I really do believe in Bank Social, John, and what they're trying to achieve. So they're an open banking solution for credit unions. So credit unions, we've all heard of them, but what do? Who are they? Credit unions are like banks used to be before becoming casinos. So credit unions are generally non-for-profits, and they take people's money and offer them interest, and then they lend that money to other people at more money than they give to the other people, therefore making some more money to invest and advertise in things. Credit unions got left behind with the big banks who started changing laws to suit themselves, started gambling with the stock market, with the housing market, and doing all the things that most of us think is pretty appalling. And banks became casinos, but with that, they became incredibly powerful, both in terms of advertising revenue, power with various governments, etc. And credit unions got left behind. John and his team, should I say, are trying to change that. They're trying to give credit unions a fighting chance to take some market share from the casinos and give power back to the people and the people's credit unions. They're based in Texas, so they're an American company. You own your own data, important two-way street, DDs, fraud, etc. Certified wallet, same thing. You own your own data. So what does this mean? Well, at the moment, it's a one-way street. You are a consumer with the bank, they have all your information, and if something happens, you need to tell them to turn you off. So for example, you log into your online banking, you find out you've been frauded, you have to ring the bank and you have to say, can you please freeze my card? Can you please freeze my account? I've been hacked and I've been frauded, frauded, and I need to find out what's going on. And they say, yes, we'll put a hold on this, and then you've got to tell them all the transactions, etc. With Bank Social, it's a two-way street. You can turn off everything you want, information going to the bank without communicating with them. So you can just put a stop on it in one place. So for example, if you wanted to change from one bank to another at the moment, we all know it's a pain in the backside. You have to ring your water company and say, I'm changing banks, my direct debit. You have to ring your phone provider, I'm changing banks, direct debit, etc. With Bank Social, you do it in one place. So you have all of your own information, you have all of your own direct debits if you like. You can move from one bank, from one credit union to the other, and it's seamless. You can do it with a click of one button almost. So you just move all of your own information. You are in effect your own bank. You allow the bank to take that money, you agree for the bank to take that money, and they do so. But you can stop that at your end, you can change banks, you can do whatever you like. So it's a far more seamless process and experience for the consumer. Non-profit DeFi app. So decentralized finance application, DeFi, decentralized finance. They're a non-profit DeFi app, all in one place. Work with tens and tens of credit unions already. So John didn't want to be too specific right now because of the sensitive nature of banking and onboarding new customers, and I get that completely. But please believe me, they're not working with one or two credit unions. They're working with tens and tens of credit unions already, and they're going to be really ramping this up in the new year until they have a real sizable portfolio of customers, which gives you as a consumer more choices. So if this credit union is better for Uber drivers, and I'm an Uber driver, I'm going to be with them. If this credit union is better for YouTube video creators, then I'm going to be with them, etc. So it really starts to give you more choice. And different credit unions can compete with different products. So I might have my home mortgage with this credit union and my life insurance with that credit union, and you can do it all in one place. How amazing is that? Had pleasure of chatting with John Wingate, Revolution, shake things up. So I was making notes as John was speaking and the kind of language he was using, because that's really important, because when somebody like me right now is just talking away and they're not really overthinking what they're saying, they're not reading off a script, you kind of really pick up the subconscious drivers behind what they're trying to do. Do they keep mentioning profit? Do they keep mentioning, nothing wrong with that, but at least we know what they're about. What were the kind of buzzwords that John kept mentioning? And the words that kept coming up were revolution, shake things up, disruptor, stand up for the little guy. And that's why I really believe in John and his team and what they're trying to do, because he wasn't mentioning, particularly in a bank setting, next quarter's profits at any cost, supply and demand or anything like that. We have these people, we know it's a pain in the ass for them to move, so therefore we can treat them however we like. There was none of that. This was all, we want to get a collective of social-based banks, non-profit social-based banks that are there by the people, for the people. And we want to collect them all together, make them incredibly powerful so that they can compete with the huge casinos and give our customers and their customers, who is us, a real chance at doing banking properly and doing banking right, like it used to be before they became casinos. Make payments, bills, and got their own token. So the BSL token, so this was really interesting. So banksocial.io do have their own token. It's BSL token. It's currently, at the time of filming, 0.00068 cent or 0.00054 pounds. So very, very super, in my opinion, undervalued token. And if you are looking to buy tokens that may or may not see some real price action, then I believe that this Bank Social token could be one of those. I believe in Hedera and Hbar, of course, but that's kind of a heavy, slow-moving ship. And I believe that price action happens. Of course it does. It happens, and it happens pretty quick. But if you want to see potentially, and again, I'm not telling you this is going to happen, I can't see the future, but I wouldn't be surprised if one day I was making a video talking about how Banking Social and BSL token did 100x. That would not surprise me. You can use their app to pay your bills. So it's a functioning app as well. You know, it's a real banking type app where you can pay your bills, you can send people money, and it's all on Hedera Hashgraph. So it's the underlying technology is absolutely rock solid, immutable, secure, scalable, and of course, carbon friendly, environmentally friendly. John Davos interview. So I've already touched on that. So yeah, I'm going to be hopefully interviewing John in Davos, and I'm really, really looking forward to that one because much like me, he doesn't mind saying how he thinks, what he feels. He doesn't care who he upsets, and he's coming from a good place. So a very interesting person to speak to indeed. By the way, an interesting point that John raised was that we all saw when Drop announced that the payment platform, that micropayments to individuals and businesses to businesses, when they announced they'd been approved by FedNow, that made massive news and also actually pumped the price of Hbar by about 40%. John pointed out that actually BSL token and Bank Social were the first to be listed on the RTP and with FedNow. And he's in constant communication with regulators. So he's absolutely ensuring that he's future-proofing this so that they do not fall foul of any laws or even potential future laws. So he's setting his stall out the right way. He's doing it on the right platform. He's doing it for the right reasons. And the UI, the user interface, the way you interact with the app, I strongly suggest you go on the App Store and type in Bank Social. Even if you don't need an account, just have a play around with it. It really is fantastic. So they were the first, yeah, to be listed. So they're regulated, they're proper, and they're going things about the right way. Okay, over to some exciting news, sort of the flash news. New GC member. GC voted to approve new mystery GC member in October meeting. So as you know, the Governing Council meet regularly, both online and in person, and they publish all their minutes for the complete transparency that Hedera likes to operate with. And in those meeting notes, it said that they approved the new Governing Council member, which means that very shortly we're going to be getting an announcement of who that Governing Council member is. And Twitter, is awash with people guessing. Let me know in the comments below who you think it's going to be. I believe, kind of just looking at the comments, the front runner at the moment is Microsoft. There is some legitimate reasons for that. Hedera and Microsoft have been collaborating on various things, and you know they have a lot of friends in common on Facebook. So if they were two people on Facebook, they'd have a hell of a lot of friends in common. So they know each other. They're kind of bobbing around the circle. Some of their customers are already GC members. Some GC members are some of their customers. So there's a lot of cross-pollination going on. And I have heard in the rumor mill that Microsoft is potentially going to be a GC member. Whether it's this GC member, I don't know. But let me know what you think. Put your comments, put your guess in the comment below. Or if you don't know who it's going to be, or you'd rather let me know who you would like it to be. Who's your dream Governing Council member? Let me know in the description below. Description? Comments. Let me know in the comments below. Okay, straight over to, one thing I can tell you though, I think, and this isn't a fact, I don't know it for sure, but just knowing the way Hedera work and sort of, you know, just watching what they do, I believe that the new Governing Council member is going to be announced at Davos. I don't know that for sure. I haven't been told that, but that is my guess. And the reason I guess that is because we're so close to Christmas now. when's the next big thing where everyone's looking at Hedera that would be the ideal time to make a big announcement? It's got to be Davos. And I'm going to be going to Davos, so thanks to your vote. So yeah, it's going to be interesting because I'm going to be there hopefully live on the ground when they announce the new GC member. Who knows, they may even have a representative of that new GC member there and I can have a chat with them. That would be really cool. Okay, Wallet Connect goes live. This is a bit of a geeky one, but it's a very, very important one. I'm going to explain why. Interoperability, shared worlds, interoperability and shared worlds have been well-meaning, loosey-goosey buzzwords until now. So a lot of people in the Web3 crypto space talk about interoperability, being able to move from one ecosystem or one metaverse or one place to another seamlessly. Previously in Web2, everything was a walled garden. So it used to be that if you wanted to search for a website, that website was either listed with AOL or it was listed with AltaVista. It wasn't on both. As crazy as it sounds today, that's the way it used to work. It was actually Bill Gates, Microsoft, who realized that there's going to be winners and losers. It's a zero-sum game. A website either lists with them or with them. He realized, and that's called a walled garden. He realized and decided that Microsoft was going to go in a completely different direction and say that it doesn't matter if you list your website with anyone else, you can list it with us too. And they became the natural market winner until Google took over, etc. And we know how that ended. But it would be unthinkable now to have a website on Google, meaning that you can't have your website anywhere else. That's just crazy. Web3 is setting out with the very same ethos that everybody should be sharing everything and let free market capitalism take place. So you're not with this bank because you have to be and it's a pain in the backside moving. You're with this bank because it's easy to change, but you don't want to. You want to be there because of the service or the value that they offer you. This has all been talk up until now, and it's still talk in most other cryptographic projects. But on Hedera, Wallet Connect has changed that significantly. Important. It's important to note how this came about, by the way, because this is starting to show that what Lehman and Mance set out to create is actually coming true. The community is starting to take over, it's decentralized, they're deciding what's important and they're putting it into action. What do I mean? The community, business owners, wallet operators, wallet owners, wallet businesses led this initiative. So Hedera, it wasn't top down, it was bottom up. Hedera didn't say, right, we're going to do Wallet Connect, making it super easy for everybody to do everything no matter where you are. No, the community said, this is what we want and we're going to deliver it. We're going to work together. Competitors are going to work together and deliver it. And it happened. It actually happened and it's going live. Okay, so this is all great, Max. Sounds lovely. Let's all hug a tree. But what does it mean? It means two main things. Number one, better user experience for the consumer. So it used to be, and still is on many other platforms, that if you download the Karate Combat app, for example, you might have to download a specific wallet partner in order to buy products, NFTs, the token, whatever it might be, on Karate Combat. So you would download Karate Combat app, and then they say, Karate Combat have done a deal with Wallet A, Wallet B, and Wallet C. You have to download Wallet A, Wallet B, or Wallet C in order to have one of our NFTs, own it yourself, not have it on our platform, but to own it yourself. If you want to buy the Karate Combat token and you want to take it offline, you want to take it off our app, you have to have Wallet A, B, or C to transfer it to. If you owned Wallet D, you'd have to download one of A, B, C, or just A perhaps if they only work with one wallet partner, you have to download Wallet A. So this means you've now got two wallets because you need Wallet D because another app, mintcondition.com, they say that we only work with Wallet D. So you've got to have Wallet D for mintcondition.com, you've got to have Wallet A for Karate Combat. Annoying having two wallets, you forget where the NFTs are, you want to show somebody two different types of NFTs, you've got to log in and log out and then log in again. Nightmare. So it's just a barrier to entry. It's not seamless, it's not shared. Wallet Connect means that you never have to worry. Every app, every dApp, every DeFi app works with every other app and every other wallet. So if I download Karate Combat, I don't need to check that my wallet is compatible. If it's a Hedera Hashgraph wallet, it will work with all of their applications. The whole thing is seamless. So it's not, oh, and by the way, yeah, so what do I talk about next? Is the better products, yeah, okay, so here we go. Number two, better products, better offering through competition. This is really important because I absolutely love this. This is me to my core. I love free market capitalism. I love fair competition. The leaders in a market should be the leaders in the market because they offer better value for money or a better service or both. If they don't, they get beaten by the latest improvement, the latest technology, a better service. If Uber, for example, is a better option than booking taxis the old way, then Uber should win. They should win through fair competition. And this encourages fair competition because I'm only with Wallet A because I have to have it because I want to use Karate Combat app. That shouldn't be the way it should be. It should be, you can use any of these wallets to use Karate Combat app, so choose the one that you like the best. And the one you like the best, you decide by how much it costs to have it. Is it free? Do you have to pay a subscription? The user interface, how often does it crash? Is the team really communicative? If you have a problem, do they come back to you dead quick? You should choose the wallet based on the offering that it gives, not because you have to. And I absolutely love that. And it's going to mean that everybody's going to have to up their game because their customers can just easily transition away. Super, super simple. So it's going to make all of the offerings on Hedera so much better because there's just easy, free market competition. Fantastic. With support, oh yeah, okay, so getting feedback, So right now, with this Wallet Connect, they're getting feedback currently. So it is live and they're taking feedback. It's kind of like in beta stage. It goes live in January 2024, so not long, next month. At the moment, it's going to be going live with support, open source references library, and detailed docs for anyone looking to build. So this is really cool and important because nobody is keeping the technology and the information to themselves. We welcome all new people with open arms. If you want to come and build on Hedera and you want to be part of Wallet Connect, here's how you do it. And you can give it to your devs, your developers. They can look at it and go, yeah, I've got to do that, I've got to do that, I've got to do that. Okay, easy peasy, and plug it all in and off you go. Really fantastic because that encourages even more new blood, new talent, new competition into the space. So everyone is going to get better. Some people might fall away, but that's okay. It's natural. Okay, another huge and very recent announcement for Hedera is Flutterwave. If you haven't heard of Flutterwave, you're probably not on X, because if you were, you definitely would have heard of Flutterwave. So Flutterwave is a new startup. They simplify how individuals and businesses, interact with each other in financial terms, how they send each other money, how you can pay for things, and that sort of stuff. They allow people to send money to their home country, sell online, process global payments, and even easily build custom financial products such as shopping baskets. So I don't know if you've ever been on Shopify or a website like that. Imagine eBay, but rather than just having a listing, you can have your own full shop, fully branded up shop. So it's like a website within a website. So they drive all this traffic to their website, and it's like an online marketplace. You have your own stall, it's easy, there's no code, you can set it all out, your product, what you want to sell, your own branding, your own contact information, and you own that stall, that digital page within this marketplace, and they allow companies to come on and sell. So you can go on there with very little money, set up your own online business and be exposed potentially to their millions of customers that come on every day. They also allow you to take payment through their service, send money, pay your bills as a business, and then aside from that marketplace, they also just allow people to send each other money very cheaply, very quickly on Hedera Hashgraph. Okay, so they're a startup. How big are they? You know, what's the big deal? They have 1 million business customers already today and over 2 million individual customers. Business customers, so okay, well that's great, you know, but you know, are these a load of a million tin pot sort of small startup businesses doing a couple of pounds a day, or who are they, you know? Well, their customers include Uber, Wise, and Microsoft. Microsoft. Remember me saying about the cross-pollination? Here it is again. So one of the Flutterwave's customers is Microsoft, and Flutterwave operates on Hedera Hashgraph. They are in Africa, and they're Africa's most valuable startup. So they're out in Africa, and the most valuable startup in Africa, having received an investment of $170 million. They are now a unicorn, meaning they're a startup with a valuation of over $1 billion. They've just entered India through a partnership with Industin Bank. They've acquired a payment service provider license in Egypt, plus licenses in 13 of the US states. So these guys, safe to say, are not messing about. They already have a massive customer base. They have a fantastic user interface. Check them out. I'll put a link to their website in the description below. And from what I've read about them, they're sincerely changing lives in some of the poorest countries in the world, allowing entrepreneurs and people to start businesses, micro businesses, for little to no money, and then really start to build those. There's some real success stories coming out of Flutterwave. So I'm super, super excited for these guys. And of course, the TPS on Hedera could potentially go parabolic. It could go massive, because this is a huge number of transactions use case. Super, super interesting. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on Flutterwave, and maybe one day I'll get to speak to somebody at the company as well. That would be very cool. Okay, lastly, we're going to talk about the fun bit, which is Hbar, the price of Hbar, where we're up to. This is all at the time of filming, so please forgive me if you're watching this a little bit after I filmed it. Total transactions, total number of transactions on the Hedera network. Why are people so obsessed, and they really are on X, why are they so obsessed with the total number of transactions? Well, the reason for that is because the total number of transactions is a really fair and good metric, a good indicator of the adoption happening on the network. Of course, not all transactions are born equal. Some of them have high value in terms of monetary. Some of them have a higher value in terms of use case. So, you know, for example, sending an NFT to your mate of a Pepe Frog or whatever might not be deemed as valuable a transaction as something to do with the DIFC courts. So not all transactions are equal, but it is a very good rough indicator of what's happening on the network. If there's not many transactions happening on the network, they could all be incredibly important, but if there aren't many of them, then how much adoption is that network seeing? If there's loads of transactions on the network, then clearly there's a lot of use of the network, which means it's growing. So it's a really good, it's like population numbers. It's a really good sort of top line view of how the network's doing. Is Hedera doing well? Transactions at the time of filming have just gone over 32 billion transactions. Now, I wanted to give this some context. I wanted to give you an idea, you know, because of course 32 billion is a lot, but you know, how many is Bitcoin doing, for example? Well, in the last quarter, Hedera created more transactions, completed more mainnet transactions than Bitcoin's done in its 15-year life. Hedera completed more transactions in the last quarter than Bitcoin has done in its entire 15-year existence. In November alone, 5.3 billion transactions completed. For perspective, Visa, everybody's heard of Visa. Visa facilitates 40% of all global transactions, okay? So of all the global transactions, all of them, people sending money to other people in all countries in all of the world, Visa facilitate 40% of them. Visa completed 20 billion transactions in November. So if Visa are facilitating 40% of all of the transactions in the world, and they did 20 billion, Hedera completed just over 5 billion, or 25% of what Visa completed. That just shows, and we're so early still. I mean, a lot of these guys haven't even gone live. Flutterwave is still considered an early stage startup. Can you imagine where Hedera is going to be in a very, very short period? 2024 is going to be an incredibly exciting time for Hedera Hashgraph. Wow, 20 billion is 40% of all the world's financial transactions, and Hedera did 5.3 billion transactions on its mainnet. Google Trends and Hbar price. Here we go. Okay, so this is the bit that most of us have all been waiting for, the Hbar's price. So Google Trends, this is, I like to keep an eye on this. Google Trends is important because it lets us know who's looking for what on Google. And it's Google, so it's impartial, and it just shows you the facts. You have Bitcoin maxis, XRP maxis, you have Hbar maxis, and they all say, oh, the attention we're getting, the adoption we're getting, blah, 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 blah. When you whittle that all down, Google Trends just shows you, with none of the noise, this is how many people are looking or searching for Bitcoin, XRP, Hbar, gardening gloves, whatever it might be. Hedera is at 41% of its all-time high globally at the time of filming. So that's globally over the last 5 years. So I always look all over the world, not one specific country, globally, how many people in the world are searching for Hedera Hashgraph. And at the moment, over the last 5 years, it's at its 41% high. And you might think, wow, that's really not great, is it? So we're down 59% on the all-time high over the last 5 years. But we have to look at that in some context. Okay, that isn't great, but how does that compare in the industry. So let's give it some context. The term Bitcoin is down 29% of its all-time high. And of course, these are all going to be down because at the moment, all of the crypto prices are down. And every man in the street, he's not really interested in what Hedera Hashgraph or Ripple or whatever, any product, Ethereum, what they're doing, what they're building, how they're adopting, because all he's interested in, he's got a little bag of crypto and he's hoping, like a lottery ticket, one day it'll be worth a lot more money so he can sell it. And that's about as far as his interest goes. And while the price is not great, while the prices are all pretty much in the toilet, he's not really Googling, he's not checking, he's not logging into his wallet every day to see how much it's gone up by. He's kind of just put it to bed, put it aside. So of course, the majority of people, it's going to be down. We know that because of where the prices are. Hedera is at 41% of its global 5-year high. Bitcoin, however, is at 29% of its global 5-year high. Ripple is down to 18% of its 5-year global all-time high. And even the term crypto itself, which is just an all-encompassing term, search term, is down 26%. So actually, when you look at it like that, crypto, 26%. Ripple, 18%, that hurts. Bitcoin, 29%. I mean, Bitcoin's the one, it's the behemoth, 29%. Hedera Hashgraph, 41%. So when you put it in that context, not doing bad at all. At the time of filming, Hbar is currently $0.086 or 8.5 cents, there or thereabouts. Or in English, good old English money, it's at 0.068 pounds, which is 6.8 pence. This is why I think Hbar is a fantastic investment right now, and I don't think this can be argued because it's maths, it's fact. Get this. Let's assume for a minute that we are in a bear market, meaning all the prices are down, which of course we are. It's not an assumption, it's a fact. That is where we are. All the prices are down, way down from where they were high. But like all things, what rises must fall, and what falls usually rises. So like the property market, the price goes up, the price goes down. And generally speaking, when it's right up, people think it can never fall. And when it's right down, people think it can never rise. But of course, if you're watching this, then you've got a pretty good understanding of how crypto and how markets work. And we know that, you know, subject to some sort of doomsday thing, crypto is going to come back, right? The price is going to rise. And I believe it's going to happen next year. But let's make an assumption, a really safe assumption when choosing investments in this crypto market, that everything is only ever going to get back to where it was before. So it's no crypto project is ever going to beat its all-time high. We're never going to have that good time again. They're only ever going to hit that all-time high or come back down. Okay? I think it's a very fair assumption for the point I'm making. I'd like to think that a lot of crypto projects, and Hedera Hashgraph especially, is going to smash through its all-time high. But just for the purposes of this, let's assume that they've been there before, so it's easier for them to get there again. All crypto projects are just going to hit their all-time high. Okay, so given the price that they are today, and looking at the price that they've been before, what kind of multiple can we expect on our investment? Well, with Hbar at 8.6 cents or 6.8 pence, we're looking at 10 times from its all-time high. So if it were to go to its all-time high from where it is today at the time of filming, we're looking at a 10x on our investment. £1,000 becomes £10,000. £100,000 becomes $1 million. Bitcoin, it's got an all-time high of $69,000. It's currently at $37,000, which is only 1.86 times your investment. And it could keep going down. So you have to factor in that when you're deciding your risk-reward investment strategy. Solana, currently at $73. It has an all-time high of $259. That's a 3.5x. Ethereum has an all-time high of $4,878, and the price today is $2,369. That's a 2 times all-time high. XRP, currently at 65 cents, and has an all-time high of $3.40. Which is a 5.2 all-time high. So if you have some money today and you say, look, I'm going to invest for the first time in some crypto, I'm going to buy it, and I don't believe in all this hype, I just think that crypto is going to get somewhere back to where it used to be. Just going off that, Hbar is clearly a fantastic investment when comparing. And I haven't cherry-picked here, by the way, you can look at this. Hedera is very, very well placed to 10x if it just goes back to where it was before. Whereas Bitcoin, I mean, with Bitcoin is one of the worst ones. It's 1.86 away from its high. So that's it for today, guys. I've wrapped up. I think I've covered the entire board. I really like this new board. It's a bit taller, it's a bit bigger, I kind of a bit more space, get a bit more on there. There is so much more I could talk about. I could go on for another hour easily without even trying, but I want to break this up and keep it a bit shorter. I hope you've really enjoyed this, and I've missed you terribly. I hope you've missed me and you've missed these updates. If I don't speak to you before, Merry Christmas, have a fantastic new year, and I'll see you soon.